Good afternoon. I'm speaking with a good friend of mine, Bruno Cumar, who I met at a dinner one evening at a restaurant here in San Diego, and he shared a bottle of wine that they had left at their table and invited me to a wine tasting for the Drouhin winery the next day, and we've been good friends ever since. And Bruno was born near Trieste, and today I think we're going to be talking more about Italian wines. As a child, tell me a little bit about growing up with wine.
Well, I came from a little town near Trieste, which is on the Slovenian border. When I was born, of course, it was Yugoslavia. And the name of the town is Gorizia, G-O-R-I-Z-I-A, Gorizia. So from Trieste, it's about half an hour north, right on the border of Slovenia, what's known today. And I remember when I drink Pinot Grigio here in the States, every once in a while, I get some really good Pinot Grigio, and I smell the wine, and it just brings me back to when I was a kid. Because, you know, in Italy, we don't have the laws that we have here. We can drink at any age.
Yeah, you smart guys. I know. I knew you were meeting us somehow.
So I remember when I was probably in my teens, and I used to help my friends to harvest Pinot Grigio grapes and Sauvignon Blanc grapes and Merlot grapes. And you cut the grapes and you go into the winery and they make a must, and then we drink the sweet wine, and then we wait until the wine is made. And those aromas and sensations bring me back to those years. And that's why I love those wines so much, because it reminds me so much of home.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of things that happen in childhood that get carried forward, and you just don't know when that excitement is going to happen. Well, then were you involved at all with the wine industry when you were living in Italy?
No, I wasn't. I just happened to be harvesting the grapes just because they made me do it.
Right. Right. We're going to be talking a little bit about some of the grape regions of France. Of Italy. Maybe it'd be really good if we could put a map up and just sort of talk about what we've been talking about so far. You were living up
right
in this
here.
area. Yeah. Okay.
This is the Friuli region. And Friuli, in conjunction with the Trentino area and some of the Veneto area, you get some of the best white wines in whole Italy. The best Pinot Grigio, of course, come from either Friuli or Trentino. And then the several varietals that are really awesome in those.
And then the Piedmont region, we know people talk about Piedmont region.
Piedmont region it borders here with France, and then up here with Switzerland. This is Val d'Aosta. And Torino being where we had the Olympics last year, a couple of years ago. And the main varietal in Piedmont is the Nebbiolo grape. So Nebbiolo grape is the grape varietal. However, many people know Barolo, Barbaresco, Gattinara. Those are all very small areas, very regional areas in nearby Alba or many other little towns. One of them being Barolo, the other one being Barbaresco. And, you know, it's all about terroir. You know, the Nebbiolo grape is the grape that grows there, but once you have a grape growing in Barolo or Barbaresco, it just becomes a much different quality than
same grape, but different terroir. So
just like we do in Burgundy,
just like in Burgundy or even in Bordeaux. And then the Tuscan wines, Chianti. Is down here.
Yeah, Chianti is here. This is being Florence. This is Siena. So, and between Florence and Siena, we have the Chianti region, and we have a little map we can talk about and discuss a little bit later. This being Rome, but think about this.
Yeah, what's down here?
This is Sicily, Sardinia, and this is 20 regions. Think about Italy being just about the same size as California. And what is really amazing is that all these 20 regions are extremely individual regions, and very particular, not only in the wine that they produce, in the food that we eat, but in the language.
Well, that's true. I mean, I mean, you know someone who's coming from the south, you know someone's coming from the northeast, you know someone from California. But in Italy, I imagine that the dialects are very, very different.
You know somebody comes from here, from there, from there, from there, from there, from there. It's amazing. It's really incredible. Just to give you an example, everybody speaks Italian as a language.
Right.
Then we all speak individual dialects. In my region here, I speak Italian. I speak the dialect from Gorizia. And then, this being Friuli, we have a language called Friulano, which is an ancient language. There we have books and dictionaries, so it is considered a language. If I speak the language here in Gorizia, and we talked about Trieste earlier, 30 minutes away, nobody would understand me.
Oh, that's amazing.
Nobody would. So, however, if the same language is spoken up here in Carnia, I will understand them.
Yeah.
It's the same language, but it's so different, so much complex.
Well, that, you know, we're talking about languages. The grapes and the wines and the regions, the same is true there. 20 regions, 20 different wines, or maybe more than 20 different
Hundreds
wines.
of different
Hundreds
wines.
of different wines.
Yes.
Right.
What makes Italy so much complicated than, let's say America?
Yeah.
You know, we know here the wines have varietals. So if we can name maybe 10, 15, 20 varietals here, we do pretty good.
Yep.
Chardonnay, Cabernet, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Noir, Merlot, so forth and so on. And once you get into the 15, 16,
right.
17, it gets harder. Italy has over 650 approved varietals.
That's amazing. And of course, that leads to all kinds of discussions about how wines are classified, which I think is a little bit too complex for us to get into today.